things that I'm going to bite into. So with potatoes and carrots and things like that, I'm going to do a medium dice. Now, if you ever read a recipe like I did before and said medium or large dice, I had no idea what that meant. It actually is a measurement. They know that means something when they say medium or small dice. A medium dice is a 1/2 inch across. So if you cut everything a 1/2 inch, it'll all be exactly the same size, which is almost exactly what I did there. So now everything looks cool. Part of French cooking is it's supposed to look as good as it tastes. So that's another part of it. It all looks the same size. It all looks cool. And there's different things, batonette, julienne, you know, all these things mean something. And basically it's just a fancy way to cut into either squares or bars. That's really all it is. Okay, but this just will give you a little bit of a handle on what some of that stuff means if you ever look at a recipe and it completely boggles your mind like it did mine. Okay, so let's go ahead and chop the potato, the carrots, and the celery, or the potato, the apple, and the celery, so you can get those chopping skills down. And then we'll get into the, once you get these skills, we'll get into the actual salad. Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to cut it into, yeah. And it's, there you go. Just hold on to it. And then take one of the pieces off so you have a flat side again. There you go. And then you can cut those other ones up later. Yeah, if it gets to a point where it's slimy and it starts to squish a little bit, move the knife a little bit and let the knife kind of cut into it instead of just kind of forcing or dragging it.
Yeah,
there you go.
this is so much lower than my cavity.
And then if you can even keep this back a little bit further. The further back toward the back of the blade, you're cutting kind of right in the middle with the celery. You're cutting right in the middle. If you use it towards the back part of the blade, you have a little more control and even. You just don't have to lift the knife as high. Yeah, like I said, that's cool. You don't have to worry about that though. Do you normally sit while you cut, or you just doing it with this time?
6 foot tall and I can't reach.
Okay.
These are too
The table's too low?
I got it so bad.
Okay. I don't care. I just if you're struggling, that's probably
No,
wrong.
I tried.
It's hard to cut.
We're just struggling. Your technique. This is the,
Yeah, we tried something new.
and I'm trying to make these into little squares.
Okay. So
So,
the easy way to do that, well, if you're just trying to do it for fun, you don't care about the core at this point in time. Well, if I cared about the core, then I would probably take the core out before I cut it down into pieces because now the core is kind of in the way. However, you can also stand it up like this and just cut around the core and have squares to work with.
but in terms of making these little cuts, I mean, this is the slope.
Were you chopping with it? Well, it's hitting the core, so if you push harder, it'll just go right through the core. Yeah, you're hitting the core, and then you're just kind of stopping, so just push. If you want it to go through the core, just push a little bit harder. Now, in your case, if you don't want it to go through the core, now you can just cut it down. So if I was doing what you're trying to do, I would do it like this. I would peel it probably first if I wanted to peel it. But I would either core it, but if I wanted it to be square, I could actually cut around the core like this. And then now I can take and I can slice it like this.
I was just doing like the sides, so just cut it,
But the tip is just
Oh, okay.
and then you flip it over on its side, do the same thing.
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
Got a rock. Well, let's see him do it on a lower table.
Okay, so I want to do French fries. You got it squared off. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna just slice it
Okay.
however thicker than I want them.
Oh, I've got a whole thing.
Then I'm going to turn it sideways, and if it bothers me, this isn't too flat because you got the peel, so it's pretty flat. If it was rocking too much, I would just get rid of that one and chop that one later. But since it's not rocking too badly, and then I'm just going to, so I've already cut it that way, so I'm just going to turn it sideways and cut it the other way. So now I've got, after that cut, I've got French fries. Yeah, good. It's easier to, yes, to move the knife than it is the potato. Maxine's got it down. We're going to Maxine's for fries and burgers today, apparently. She's got it down. Does that help? How are you guys doing over here? You got that? You got the fries.
Cut them again.
Instead of dicing, you can just keep breaking them down. One of the things that I'll suggest is move this back. And instead of picking the knife up every time, just leave the nose down. And just kind of keep the food right toward the back. There you go. And that's you can use it how you were using it. It's no big deal. But that rocking technique is really what. Once you master that, it's so easy to do so many things. Carrots, onions, celery, garlic, all that stuff, and just go to town on it. Would have been nice to have one of these. Oh. But nice to know how to do it.
Just didn't know what you was doing.
So we're doing everything piece by piece by piece by piece. That's how a lot of people do stuff, and it's just like, oh. Okay.
I was going to say she was doing it right with a little bit of variation.
That's cool.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is.
Probably the same fruit salad.
Was it all even?
Well, not the potato, my daughter was.
I actually think I might deny it if we have that.
If you haven't cut some celery yet, make sure you guys cut some celery too.
We have the small fruit what we have. No, you like this one. Oh, I like.
We have a lot of food to cut in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I bet you that would be.
I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
The one I have at home is
I might want to lock it with my
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
What did I say? I like this. Is this one better than what happened?
that don't help, doesn't it?
What?
Oh, I like the
Yeah, you want to try that?
really bad on this night.
Oh, I went to drop off the counter. You guys
Except for mine is,
Yeah, it's okay. It's not as bad as the last or whatever. Again, it really is, bamboo is soft enough to scratch, so it kind of mimics wood and that. So that's what you want. So as long as the knife isn't fighting the cutting surface, then bamboo's okay. The only thing, I don't know how sanitary bamboo is. What you looking for, Michelle? That one, okay. Because I know what you're supposed to be using mineral oil and all that kind of stuff, so. With wood, I'm saying. I don't know that much about bamboo. From a knife perspective, bamboo should be fine. From a sanitary perspective, I can't tell you. Yeah, I'm sure that. fine for the night. I just, you can't attest to that.
I don't know how often this has been used.
They'll replace it with that one.
That was not gonna
Yeah. Yeah, they quit making that old, they've got the ones that handle in it.
But yeah, but it's got a scratch.
It's flat, but it doesn't have a hand cut in it where you can grab it. Yeah, that was our only cutting board we had forever, for the longest time. And then they came out with the big one. This is the small one, and there's a medium one, and then there's a large one. There you go, Michael. Keep the food towards the back of the blade. There you go. The closer the food is to your knife, to your left hand there, the easier the whole knife is to use.
Yeah. This is, watching you, I was telling you folks that we've seen a little more than the conventional French chef does.
It's really, it's a personal preference. I like the Santoku one better for most stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that it's, you know, one of the things that's unique about the chef's knife, the French style. So, Barbara, can you do that? One of the things that's unique about this is the curve is at the front for a reason. So if the knife starts to get dull as I'm using it, what I can do is not just chop, but if it starts to wear down a little bit, I can also then get it going like a choo-choo train, and it kind of slides back and forth on the cutting board. And now I'm not just cutting through, I'm actually slicing through. So sometimes if I'm doing like a tomato, or if I'm doing something that's softer, you want to slice through it, not just push through it. So that's the benefit of that curve. I can still do that motion with that, but it doesn't feel as smooth because it rocks later in the game. So there is a difference, and for the most part I can do almost everything with one or the other, but you will notice differences. Just like with a paring knife, they feel different, so they just do different things. You know, they're good for different things in different occasions. Yeah, all right. If everybody does anybody have any questions about any of the chopping skills? All right, let's clean up our cutting boards. And
Apples too, everything goes.
yep, everything goes. We're gonna start fresh now.
throw it all away.
Unless anybody wants to take it home. Anybody got a kid? What can you make with apples, potatoes, and celery put together? I'm not quite sure. It would probably taste kind of That's fine. You can if you want to. Yeah, I mean, there might be some other stuff at the bottom there, but I mean, I'm talking like plastic. I don't think the chickens are going to be plastic. I hope not.
I don't like ranch dressing.
Yes, if we could get the celery, you guys can just put it on this back table here.
It's in Florida, so no.
You want all this on?
Yeah, you guys, the bucket you can take if I didn't take your thing.
Yeah. Somebody else's.
All right, if there's an extra container, that's fine, whatever. We're gonna use these containers to put the food in. So everybody's gonna have. Okay, the last page of your handout there, it has some safety tips, and then it has, oops, it's a stand I thought. And then it has your the recipe at the bottom. So in these buckets, we've got a variety of strawberries. We've got a bunch of kiwi at the bottom of the strawberries. And then there's a pear and an apple for each person. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our newly acquired skills to break these down. So everybody gets one apple, one pear. Everybody wants to take however many strawberries you like, 5 or 6, and then a kiwi at the bottom. And then there's also, there should be, are there oranges in there too?
Yes.
Everybody grab a little orange. I'll show you how to section out the orange, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the strawberries? Yeah.
You can take extra strawberries.
Yeah.
Pass the ball.
Pass them down. Yeah, this lady's
So, hey, before everybody starts chopping stuff up, everybody grab their ingredients and then just sit tight. Before you start, however many strawberries you like, there's plenty. We've got an insane amount of food. How's your finger doing?
I'm fine.
Both of you? All right, good.
Yeah. Oh,
They
somebody
cut
else?
with sharp knives.
Oh.
All right. So everybody got what they need. Well, there's four behind you. I have everything else up here. Thank you. Okie dokie.
Yes.
I need. Yeah, there's if anybody needs any more strawberries or anything really, we got plenty. Bless you. Okay. So real quick, everybody, why don't you guys come gather over here again? Come gather so you can see. I'm gonna put this together real fast. And shock the world. Let me see. I need a burn picture.
Oh, you're talking about between? Sure.
Okay. So you're going to use your paring knife for a couple things, and then you use your chopping knife for a few things as well, or actually almost everything. One of the cool things about this little guy is for hulling strawberries, I can just take this and just kind of spin it around, and it's nice and sharp, so it'll just take the center out. I've tried that and I never can figure it out.
I don't know if we can get the whole thing out.
The other way to do it is to stick it in and
Just spin it?
and turn it, use it as a pivot point. And then it just comes right out.
There you go, that works too. So you can use any of the paring knives will do that, but this one has that little hook, so it's nice for just kind of spinning it around. So you get the heads off of those guys. With the kiwi, I can again peel the kiwi with this guy, or with whatever paring knife. It's going to work nice and easy. Again, this is so sharp that I've seen people do spoons and all those other crazy stuff. Yeah, it's all messy. It always squirts at me. I don't like doing it that way. So this way, I can have control over it. I can cut it nice and thin. Then I'm going to cut the ends off. Okay. So I got that. Then I'm going to take this little guy. Now, one of the things that a lot of times they have you section out oranges as opposed to just peeling them and putting the little pieces in there because you don't get that chewiness of the orange. So with these little guys, what you can do is, again, take your paring knife, and these are nice and sharp. So again, all I do is I take it around the curve, the outside of this. From a sectioning it perspective, yeah, you can section it from the outside instead of trying to do it after the fact. So cut around it. You can do this with oranges. Obviously, the bigger, the more, actually easier it is. Okay? So now I've got the peel off of it, and then all you have to do is take the knife and section it right in between the little pieces. You can see where the membrane is. And then you just section it out. And because the knife is nice and sharp, it's really easy to do. I also have gloves for everybody who wants to wear them. If your hands are not as clean as you'd like them to be at this point, you're certainly welcome to wash them up in the bathroom or in the kitchen.
By the way, it's the second bathroom on the left.
Yeah, for those of you that have been here for a while, we commandeered one of the bathrooms and just cleaned it. The group back here was supposed to clean them up and they never did, and it was just so bad and annoying and frustrating. So we just stole one of the bathrooms. So we don't have a men's and women's anymore. We just have one that's clean. So it's the second one marked Cutco store. So I can take the membrane out, okay? And then the other two ingredients I have are my apple and my pear. So now that I've got the peeling done, I can take my chef's knife, chop up my oranges a little bit. I can take my strawberries, chop these up. And again, this is your fruit salad, so however you like it to be. If you want them big chunks, if you want them little chunks. One of the nice things about a chef's knife is I can also just do this, and I can just kind of mince down into little bite-sized pieces, whatever size I want. I sharpen my knife all the time. I don't care what all gets.
I just thought I'd mention it.
So what I do with the kiwi is I chop it down the middle, and then I lay the flat pieces out. So now they're not round and fighting me. So take my apple. And by the way, if this is a